Okay.
Feel good about it too.
All right, if so.
Make a motion to allow Supreme Pro Wrestling to use the facility, the building, the basketball gym on November the 14th or the 5th. What is that, the 5th?
It says we were debating between the 14th and the 15th.
Oh, okay, that's what that is.
Yes,
We're
sir.
gonna do it on a Friday with the schools in
Okay, yeah. Set up and do the things that you need for the discount rate of $150, plus the deposit returned back on as normal,
Yes, sir.
right? Okay, I'm good with that.
I'll second it.
Okay, so we have a motion and a second to allow them for a discounted rate of $150. Is there any other discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Good luck.
Thank you, sir. Thank you all.
Good luck to you.
Good luck, thank you.
Thank you guys for your time.
Okay, next item is item 10B, request by the headquarters and headquarters detachment, 100 Troop Command Family Readiness Group.
Yes. Evening, Chairman, board members, staff. I'm Sergeant Sackett. I'm here asking for a waiver of the fees for use of Freedom Park. We're going to be having our family day. Our family day is where we take and honor our families. Obviously, they give us a lot. They're there for us. We put them through a whole lot. So every year we try and get together and we honor them. We are, this year, this is our second year in a row for using Freedom Park. But given our very strict financial regulations, fundraising for our group of only 30 people is kind of difficult. Right now, I just took over our fund and we have $100 in it. So it's difficult because that's not our design. It's raising money. So for that, we're asking for the waiver.
Okay. Couple questions, Sarah, or we have nothing else?
We have one spot for him.
Okay. Does Dennis have any big thing going on that weekend that we know about?
No.
Not that we've been told about?
No.
Okay. All right. Any questions?
Family Readiness Group.
Yes.
Explain that.
We have, our family readiness group can be equated to an auxiliary. It is ran by our spouses, chaired by us, those of us in the unit, but it's designed that when we leave, it replaces us. When we deploy, they're the person that can call for the flat tires. They have the resources. They have my dryer stop. So somebody knows somebody knows somebody. So we pull everybody's abilities and resources into our family readiness group. So it's a very lucrative system for our families while we're gone. Provides babysitting, emotional support, somebody to vent to, somebody to help do laundry. It's all sorts of things. So we refer to it as family readiness.
Of course, I would support it. I have two sons in the Army, one disabled and retired, and the other one in active duty, and two in the Navy. So I definitely support you coming here, and the waiver is, I'm more than willing to do that.
Thank you.
I'll second it.
Was that a motion, by the way?
That is a motion.
I'm just checking.
I'll second it, being an Air Force brat and remembering the times when I was very young when my dad went TDY for extended period of time.
It's difficult.
It is.
Well, since my father was in Hawaii for 5 years during World War II, of course I have to support this. Don't look down on me. Okay, so we have a motion and a second. Is there any other discussion? All right, hearing none. All those in favor?
Aye.
Motion passed unanimously. Good luck. I hope you have a great event.
Thank you. Thank you all.
Thank you for your service.
Welcome. Thank you.
Okay, we are now moving on to 10C, bid proposals for security district auditor. Board member and chair of the budget, finance, and audit, Diane Richards, will report on her findings.
Larry did a great job summarizing the RFPs that were received by the, was it five?
I think we had five.
Five CPA firms. 1, 2, 3, 4,
That's
5. And the fees varied from as high as 10,400 to as low as 6,500. Looking at the RFPs, it appears that all 5 firms, they met all the requirements for our RFP. They all had good peer reviews, been in the doing public accounting for a number of years, appear to have adequate staff to do our services. Not all of them necessarily have special district auditing experience with Sacramento County and the various special districts, except for Larry Manning, which he seems to have extensive experience and mostly in parks and recreation. So, and he did come in with the lowest bid. He is doing comparable hours of what the other firms stated that they would do the work for or in, but his hourly rate is a bit lower than the other 4 firms, which brings his bid in as low as it does. And our staff have a positive relationship with Larry Bain and his staff, with his firm being a previous auditor for the district.
I liked it because I really liked your audit of Larry every year. I really appreciated Alan's audit of Larry's work. It was really good.
Well, you-
I enjoyed that every year.
Remember though, we had Larry and we decided to not use Larry anymore.
We'd used him for a long time.
We did.
So we tried another firm. They
Right.
did not submit a proposal, so
So
they are out of, they're not, they were not, being able to be considered because they weren't interested in doing business with us anymore.
So I don't know if anybody else caught this, but in 2 of the proposals, the same person's listed in both of them.
I didn't even find,
Yeah.
oh, really?
Yeah.
I didn't even
James
catch-
Gazzo.
I didn't even,
He's listed in this one, and he's listed in this one.
wow.
Just shoving him out.
This guy.
And the reason I noticed that is because he's an inactive CPA.
Oh, see, I didn't go on to.
I was gonna say, did anybody go do?
I didn't go to that
All right,
extent.
that's the first thing well, it's not that big a deal. That's the first thing I do is go check credentials and it's,
Online.
He's inactive.
he's inactive, which means he doesn't have to take any classes to stay current on stuff. So I was a little,
Oh, then I would,
yeah,
at least
yeah.
I would, no.
yeah. So I was a little bit, and then also, oh yeah, the one person is technically not licensed to practice in California. It says she was Minnesota, so she's not licensed in California. So you're recommending Larry.
Mhm.
Okay, so if I remember right, Larry gave a 1-year bid only?
Yes.
So what's the pleasure of the board? Are we going to stick with, we're just going to do a 1 year, and then if we want to renew with him then? I mean, I don't know what the thought was.
I don't think we went into discuss
No, we
that.
didn't, but, with the 1 year, I wanted to see, maybe we didn't talk about a 1-and-1 with an option for another year on that, so we wouldn't have to go back out to bid in 11 months or 10 months or whatever.
Right.
If we were happy with them.
Well, that's what I was going to say. I mean, we can then defer this back over to staff and say, okay, we do this and see if you can get a 1-and-1 and negotiate so we don't have to go through this another year. And I don't know if we have to do that much detail.
I like the 1-and-1, I mean, just to make sure that the
Well, I understand.
reuniting is
I mean,
well
we-
received.
I don't have a problem doing 1 with a possible 2, up to, I don't have an issue with that. I mean, normally, when firms bid on things like this, it's normally a 3-year, especially new firms, because they're gonna lose money the first year. I'm just learning what the heck Terry does all day.
Oh,
Sorry.
yeah.
And I think with those, the four of the firms,
Right.
they're not familiar with the county's general ledger system, so
Right.
there's
Well,
going
the-
to be
the one
an
is-
experience factor there
The,
too.
I'm familiar with the one firm, James Martin. They do stuff that uses county, so,
Okay, so they're,
yeah, they're familiar.
okay.
If I could just jump in there, I wonder if there might have been some confusion on Larry's part, because the original RFP implied that it was a 1 year, and then I had spoke to Alan about including that as part of our addendum to let them know that the board certainly was open for more than 1 year, because I believe Larry's the only one that submitted just for a
I
single
thought
year.
Yes.
that, yeah. So I mean, if that's the pleasure of the board, I don't have a problem with staff, since everybody else, I think, did 3, right?
Yes,
Right. And then just go back and just say, you know, would you mind doing this, and we can do a renewal, and see what his costs are gonna be, if it's gonna remain pretty standard, or if it's.
Yeah, what I imagine would happen is that if he was interested in that, and there was even a slight increase in the fee,
Right.
we could just turn around and just to amend the
No.
existing agreement
No, that's
to
fine, yeah.
whatever number of years, you want, whatever the fee is.
Yeah, I
We
don't,
can bring it back to the board.
yeah, okay. So does anyone wanna make a motion?
I got a question.
Sure, I'm sorry, go ahead.
Terry, in your experience in working with auditors, and obviously Mr. Monk mentioned that Larry had been with the district for some time, did you have a positive relationship with Larry and
Oh, yeah,
recommend?
yes.
Okay. I was a little nervous because of Alan's point that we also
Right.
went away from Larry at one point, so to do a one-and-one was,
Well, the reason we went away was because he was here for so long.
Yeah, in all
Oh,
fairness,
yeah,
that was
you,
one reason,
you want to make
gotcha.
sure
I don't
that,
think, just by knowing
Different
the
set of
other
eyes.
work he's
Yeah.
done,
Okay.
I'm not saying it's substandard, but he pretty much does the real bare minimum, and, you know, sometimes you want to look a little deeper on some things. I don't know if that really happens. It's nothing against staff or anything, but, you know, by switching auditors up every now and then, you know, you can uncover ways to do things, you know, a little more streamlined and save money for the district overall. I have nothing negative. I mean, Larry calls me at work every now and then and asks my opinion on stuff, so I mean, you know, personally, Larry's fine. I mean, I just, you know, again, the reason we switched is just to get, you know, new set of eyes, which we did do that. And if it's all going well, then that's fine, I don't have a problem.
and it sounded like from speaking with Terry, he did to, in my opinion, an adequate amount of substantive testing, which are now two former auditors didn't really do at all, especially the second year of the engagement where she did none on our receipts out at the pool, which would be an area of risk, of higher risk than
It
other
would be, but,
areas
I mean,
of
they-
revenue
right.
generation.
They could have looked at that as immaterial for, and I don't know what the reason.
Well, she said it was because of their experience factor from the first year of the engagement. So I go, well, she only did it for 1 year.
Right. Okay. All right, so do we have a motion in a second, or was that?
Did you want to do
No, before we
1-1
got- no, that's
or
right.
1-2?
Where do you guys feel? 1-1, 1-2?
I like 1-2.
You like 1-2? You okay with that?
I'm cool.
Then I'll be all right with that.
So you do that shit.
So who's making the motion?
I'll make a motion,
Okay.
go with Larry for 1 year with the option of 2 additional years.
And if there's any change in the fee, they'll bring that back to the board, we can amend it
Yes.
at a later date if you're okay with that.
Yeah, like in
I
proposed
mean,
budget or,
the other thing
yeah.
is, before, I mean, we could say not to exceed like 5% increase per year, and that way you don't have to come back to us.
If you want to put that in, go ahead.
Yeah, and to direct staff to go ahead and extend the engagement if there is a 5% or less increase in the fee year to year in the 2
Got
subsequent
to be able to
years.
come back to us. Okay.
I would be the second person to agree with that.
Okay, we're good with that? Okay, so we have a motion